and Netflix is just like they're in spending spree mode. So they picked up Pieces of a Woman, which assures that they're gonna probably place this film in awards consideration conversation. I think the end date is the third week of February, so that assures um, uh, um, um, a showing of that to future odds. Hale Berry's film Bruise picked up a gajillion dollars they picked up the rights for that film. And the curiosity piece for me is actually today they announced that they picked up a COVID filmed project by Sam Levinson that we had a brief details about midway during the summer. And they landed the rights to a shot in black and white film, a shot on 35 during COVID for $30 million. So what's your first reaction at seeing this news?
Well, I'm actually amazed. Well, there's a few reactions. One is I'm amazed at the kind of money Netflix is throwing around. I think they spent 30 million on this
Yeah.
COVID shot project, which is bananas. Like, I think that's insane. Um, but I must have really had a bidding war behind it for spending that kind of money. But yeah, I mean that film. I think so. I've been watching quite a few. I watched Netflix's homemade series of short films shot during the pandemic, and to be honest, despite the caliber of talent that was involved, they weren't all that great. So my big curiosity about this film is if it can say something or meaningful about our lives during this moment without feeling like a novelty, I guess, or just like curiosity. So the fact that Netflix has spent this kind of money, the fact that it's drawing comparisons, I think, to Marriage Story in terms of its story about a couple, I guess, going through a relationship problems. I'm keeping I'm curious about it for sure.
So John David Washington and Zendaya, essentially, they hunkered down for like 3 weeks, shot this thing, and this musician slash actress is really in an interesting point career wise. I mean, we just saw the Dune trailer, and she's going to be in Brian Hegeland's Finest Kind. That's for the future. So she's in a really interesting moment. Of course, Washington, we saw his face for the last 6 months just with all the Tenant buzz. So there's certain there's a chemistry there that might have brought up that bidding war, or might have brought up that bid to what we think is an inflated price for a black and white film. They did pick up a film at Sundance called 40-Year-Old Version. So they're not averse to taking on black and white films, but this is cut from a different cloth. And so the filmmaker is Sam Levinson, and actually just wrote the screenplay for Adrian Lynn's Deep Water, which might or might not come out. That's a studio film. And so he did Assassination Nation. That was his second feature. It was at Sundance several years back. I'm forgetting the title, but it was a very Sundance-y film. And here he paired up with cinematographer Marcel Rev, who's a Hungarian cinematographer who worked with Munduzero. So there's a whole bunch of different interesting elements here in terms of this collaboration. And it was a shock to see that this film was picked up for this price tag.
Yeah, and we can't fail to mention that Sam Levinson is he's a writer on Euphoria, which is Zendaya's big kind of breakout as well, the HBO series. So that collaboration started there, and it looks like it's fruitful. It looks like they're taking it to the next level, or really making it stronger. So it'll be interesting. There's a lot of elements here that are on the cusp of just huge breakout. So
Yeah, I get a feeling that's going to be a truly intimate film. I'm Eric Lavallée. I'm editor-in-chief and site owner for IONCINEMA.com, and this is
Kevin Jagernauth, contributing writer for the playlist.
And together we are IndieSponge.